Silence can feel like a wall between your pain and God's presence. But what if his silence isn't rejection, but invitation? You've cried, you've prayed, you've waited, and still, nothing. No voice, no miracle, just quiet. But that quiet isn't empty. In the Bible, silence is never wasted. It's where faith is stretched, where character is formed, and where God speaks, not through noise, but through depth. Today we're talking about something many believers are afraid to admit: when God feels silent. Not because he isn't there, but because he's working in ways you can't yet see. Let's uncover the hidden power of God's quietness. Let's expose 4 truths that prove God is still speaking, even when it sounds like silence. When Jesus stood before Pilate, he said nothing. When he faced his accusers, he remained quiet. But in that silence, he was saving the world. Sometimes the silence of heaven is the sound of God doing his deepest work. David cried out in Psalm 13, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever?" But by the end of the same psalm he declared, "I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me." There's a journey in the silence, and the silence has a purpose. Pain makes us think God walked away. But what if he's closer than ever, holding back his voice not to punish, but to prepare? Moses didn't hear God for 40 years in the wilderness, but that silence made him a shepherd, not just of sheep, but of a nation. You may not hear him now, but your faith is hearing him. Your spirit is growing. Your tears are watering something deep. Truth 1. Silence is not absence. Just because you can't hear him doesn't mean he's not near. God said, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." Hebrews 13:5. That includes the silence. Pain can muffle God's voice, but it can't remove his presence. The silence may be deep, but so is his nearness. Truth 2. Silence often precedes revelation. Sometimes God waits to reveal what we're not yet ready to receive. Before Lazarus walked out of the tomb, there were 4 days of silence. God is not in a hurry, because he is never late. The silence was never the end. It was the setup. Truth 3. God speaks in different ways. God isn't limited to thunder or fire. He often whispers in the stillness. His word speaks louder than feelings. Sometimes God speaks through peace, not answers. If you can't hear his voice, hold on to his promises. Truth 4. Silence can grow faith. Faith isn't built on clarity, it's built on trust. In silence, roots grow deep, even if no one sees. You may not see it yet, but silence is shaping you. The silence wasn't punishment, it was preparation for your praise. God hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't walked away. The silence is sacred space, not divine distance. Even in the quiet, he's collecting your tears, strengthening your heart, teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. And one day, this silence will break, with joy, with peace, with clarity. But until then, keep walking. Don't give up in the quiet. Don't stop in the shadows. Because God is still speaking, even when he's silent.